Asia Pac, worldwide, the problem is the same. No country, no geography, or no company or no network is benign. Whether you look at Facebook or whether you look at the smaller breaches that don't even get reported, the reality each time comes out that the networks with the current way of securing, which is very heavily relying on securing the border, the security approaches aren't working, and the adversaries are getting more clever, more motivated, and they have more technology to create a breach. My belief or my understanding is lack of understanding of the network is the first hindrance. What companies have invested is old technology and an ability to say, I can stop breaches from, or I can stop bad things from coming inside my network. Whereas now, using artificial intelligence, we are able to provide companies the ability to have visibility of what the network is, what IoT devices exist, what information resides on the cloud. I think the biggest hindrance was lack of visibility. They didn't even know how many devices, they don't know how many software pieces are outdated. They don't know a lot of stuff. And this is not small companies. It is just the way networks have digitally exploded. Networks have become so much more porous. You have supply chains. How do you secure these networks using walls, using locks? It's difficult, right? The network itself is so porous and so complex. So the first thing we are seeing from organizations is the need and a demand of using modern technology such as AI to understand what is my network. Once you understand what is your network, you can see things on your network, then you have the ability to understand what is happening on my network. If there's something unusual happening, again, if you read about any breach, big or small, the final analysis comes out that there was an entry 6 months ago. And that could have been a point of entry, whether it was a smartphone, whether it was a smart fridge, whether it was a CCTV camera. Once they get in the network, the security teams could not find, and they were happily moving around. That's the reason why companies are adopting our technology, Darktrace's enterprise immune system, which uses AI to detect these movements when people are moving from one device to the other, when devices are being scanned, when passwords are being changed. All these things which earlier would not get noticed by the security teams, now we are able to shine a torchlight on abnormal behavior. In a sense, we are shifting the pendulum, which is heavily relying on post-breach, towards early detection. Not only early detection, now AI is heavily used to autonomously respond. For example, a ransomware attack comes on a Friday. Watching it on a Monday is too little too late. These attacks use clever technology, and they move at machine speed. So you will need AI to respond machine versus machine. You will need AI to augment human teams to respond to these threats. So fundamentally, as I mentioned, there are two kinds of attacks, if you can define them. Rapid speed of machine attacks. They move at machine speed. They spread within seconds. Human security teams will not be able to fight these attacks. They will need AI which detects such attack and immediately responds. For example, Darktrace's Antigena, we are able to respond within 2 seconds. 30% of our installation now uses AI to respond. So on one hand, you're talking about fast-moving attacks. On the other hand, you're talking about low and slow attacks where sophisticated attackers remain hidden in the network. When they are moving data from one server to the other, again, you will need autonomous action. You will need surgical action to disrupt that movement of data. That's what AI becomes fundamental. It will augment human security teams, but human security teams are not adequate. Going back to what I said earlier, the kind of networks you're talking about and the kind of attacks we are talking about, human security teams using conventional tools is not going to be adequate.